What do your earrings say? I've been wondering this whole time.
They say murder, 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 kill, kill, kill.
I love that.
Sorry. Yeah, I thought the movie was just brilliant. You guys really give it this heart and kindness and journey that I wasn't necessarily expecting in a film from people's heads blowing up a lot. Idris, I'll start with you. What was it like to balance this kind of the brutality with this story that is so much about heart and redemption and vulnerability?
The intrigue, it was part of the reason why I wanted to make this film and be a part of it, is because there is that sort of, spectrum, on one side is a man that's just ready to live in a prison for the rest of his life. And then on the other side is a doting father that loves his kids and has love to give and love to receive. So I really enjoyed the idea of sort of exploring that,
And Daniela, your character obviously also has this really vital relationship with her dad that is such a core part of your story. And also something I loved about your character is just so kind and so much love to give. Could you talk a little bit about that in this space where you're also controlling rats?
I love the fact that she's different from the other people from the squad. And she's like, this is her first mission. And we can see that because she doesn't have like bad inside of her. She doesn't have like that feeling and needing of killing people. And if we look with attention, she never kills anybody. She calls the rats, but no one is that because of her. And I feel like that is really interesting because difference is beautiful. And I feel like I really want to need a continuity with Ratcatcher and to see if she will get into the point that she has to kill someone or not in the future.
What was it like, Idris, working alongside Daniela and crafting this relationship that's so core to the heart of the movie?
It was a lot of fun. It was exploration. There was a commonality that Daniela and I share, which is maybe a European sensibility around a sense of humor. Also very passionate actors that really, really geek out about acting techniques and skills. And she's such a nice girl, nice personality. That was easy. That was the easy part.
Margot, starting with you, this is feels like such an organic and kind of empowering part of Harley's ongoing journey in these movies. What was it like for you to get to bring this next step to life?
I loved it. Yeah, Harley's like a little boy crazy, but she's also more independent than we've ever seen her before. Independent of Mr. J, which is a big deal for her. She's also kind of more focused, I think, than we've seen her before. She's going to work. In her mind, this is a work day, even though it's a day out of prison. But she's a little more steady on her feet than we've ever seen her before. And that doesn't say much when it's Harley Quinn. That still means mayhem, but it was just a different place in her life. So it was interesting to kind of jump into her when she's in this kind of mindset.
David, your work often you are really interested in kind of these complex, darker character explorations and stuff, and you get to do that, but in this huge superhero space with Polka Dot Man. What was that like?
It was such a gift. I'm such a fan of all of the extreme genres, especially superhero films and horror and science fiction. And I believe that they can be the perfect lens for going to those darker places, because you can explore these stories where people get distracted by all the circumstance and all the amazing, superpowers and these larger than life characters. And you really get their pulse up and they're in the cinema and then if you get it right and you've got a leader like a James Gunn who's got the vision and the talent for it, they know exactly when to get them right where it counts. And there's an important lesson with Abner for me personally that I felt like I could bring to the character. I know what it's like to struggle with morbid depression. I know what it's like to feel like an outsider and like somebody who doesn't belong. And at the same time, I also know what it feels like to have a gift of some kind that I want to do something with. So every day going to work was a gift, and getting to work with, one of the greatest actors of all time and on earth, and who's also become a dear friend. It was just a real dream job.
You can really tell that there's the chemistry between all of you is really wonderful. Something that kind of blew me away about the movie. I found the movie to be quite radical on lots of levels, but one of the things I thought was really wonderful was how kind the movie is. It seems, for a movie that's going to be about people's heads blowing up, it's actually incredibly empathetic and kind. Was that something that spoke to you, or that you kind of realized as you were making it?
Something I felt in James's previous movies as well. There's always like this heartbeat. There's always room for the emotion, and it works in lockstep with the action. So the action isn't meaningless, and actually you're way more invested because you do care, because you're seeing these characters care, especially when they're villains and people. For them to care feels like a big deal, you know what I mean? So I love that, and I feel like it just only makes the whole thing more engaging. Otherwise, I think action after a while can just be like, you're like, yep, shooting, blood, guts, it's cool to look at, but I'm not feeling anything. But James never delivers action without an emotional punch as well.
I think this movie is really special, and I'm so excited for everyone to see it. So thank you so much for taking the time.
What do your earrings say? I've been wondering this whole time.
They say murder, 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 kill, kill, kill.
I love that.
I'm sorry to bother you, this Boots Riley movie. And they seem appropriate for Suicide Squad.
So appropriate. I love them.
Have a nice day, guys.